Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving us your valuable time. Today we're going to discuss how to register for ADAT exam. So it's a few steps that you need to make sure that you're doing everything right in those steps. As part of our mentoring program at ConfiDentist, we walk people through the registration process, and if they come up any issues, they can reach out to us. So this was our effort to try and do a little bit of that for people who are still not registered with us. I can see a few familiar faces in the participants. If you have any questions after the webinar today, you can reach out to the admin regarding the registration for the courses or registration for the exam. We're always happy to help. Just a quick introduction. My name is Hannah. I took ADAT in 2023. 2024. Time flies. I took it in 2024, and I'm third-year student at McGill University right now. And I'm the mentor for ADAT program at ConfiDentist, as well as a lecturer for a few of the topics. Okay, so I'm sure you're all a bit familiar with the exam. So ADAT, or Advanced Dental Admission Test, is administered by ADA, so American Dental Association, and so therefore it's an American exam. I just want to make this differentiation right here and right now because if you've already taken AFK or if you're in the process of taking AFK and ACJ, it's important to know that those are Canadian exams and this one is an American exam. Even though you're going to use it to apply to Canadian schools, you're still taking an American exam. So to answer all of the questions, you will be following American guidelines, and you'll be dealing with for evaluation of your degree, it's going to have to be another evaluation system, not the one that you use for INDB. There is a good guide online. It's called Advanced Dental Admission Test Candidate Guide, and it updates every year. So I just put a screenshot of the 2025 guide. It can answer your big questions about, your general questions about the fees, the how it goes if you're not happy with your score and you want to argue that it's not the right score, how it goes if you're absent on your exam. So these kind of questions you can find the answer in the candidate guide. I advise everyone to go and take a look at the guide before they register for the exam so that they have all of their questions answered. So if you can go to the next slide. Perfect. So what is the purpose of this examination? People take ADAT for different purposes. This is from the candidate guide. And you can read here that it's a mean to assess a candidate's potential for success in these programs. Which programs? Programs of advanced dental education. So historically, this exam was administered for US and Canadian dental graduates who wanted to get admission into advanced programs such as, specialty programs, GRE programs. So they would take this exam. But then gradually over the past few years, Canadian universities have switched to ADAT exam instead of AFK exam for evaluation of foreign trained dentists, which is you and me. This is another purpose that this exam is being used for now. And I think it is having an impact on the ADAT exam because the way ADAT is scored is it's not like every question has one single point. Sometimes you get questions that don't even get scored, or you get questions that are weighed more than other questions. So, and that is dependent on how many people get that question right. And I think the more foreign trained dentists take this exam, the more competitive this exam becomes. And if you look at the charts, which I have in the coming slides, you'll see that the average ATAT score is getting higher and higher every year because more and more foreign trained dentists are taking part in the exam. So, as I said, right now, all of the Canadian universities that have a program for foreign trained dentists, this is a exhaustive list here, all of them require ADAT as part of their admission. Of course, different universities give different value to your ADAT result. For example, a university like University of Toronto will put a lot of emphasis on your ADAT score and your GPA score. So you will want to have a very competitive score if you're applying to U of T. Whereas there are other universities that have bench tests. So they are also evaluating your hand skills. And then those universities, less emphasis is given to ADAT, and it's divided between your ADAT, your GPA, your bench test results, as well as your interview skills. So what you need to know at this stage is that you need to do your best to score the highest you can on ADAT, and then once you have your score, depending on what your score is, we can kind of help guide you which universities to apply and how to improve your resume, basically. Again, so who can take this exam? Dentists who are already practicing can take this exam. So, for example, someone graduates dental school, they work as a general dentist for a couple of years, and then they decide to do pediatric dentistry. In that case, they can take an ADAT exam. Also, dental students who are in the fourth and third year of dental school, as long as they have passed enough credits, they're eligible to take this exam if they want to get directly into specialty after graduation. So they don't want to wait between their graduation and starting their specialty. I have classmates who are preparing for ADAT exam right now. And then the third category is us, internationally trained, foreign trained dentists who want to get admission into advanced standing programs in Canada. So people from both accredited and non-accredited programs can take the ADAT exam. You will need to have your degree and your transcripts evaluated by association, EC association, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But once you get that evaluation approved, it doesn't matter if your program was US accredited, Canadian accredited or not. You're eligible to take the exam. Okay, so let's get to the core of it. So there are 4 steps in registering for ADAT exam. The first one is creating a DENTPIN. We're going to get into each step a little bit more. But first step is to create a DENTPIN. The second step would be to get an ECE evaluation of your credentials. Third step would be application for ADAT exam. And last one would be going on Pearson VUE website and choosing your exam venue, location, and date and time, which comes last. So let's start with the first step. In order to create your DENTPIN is kind of your identification or your introduction to ADA. So just like for those who have taken AFK or who are in the process, just like INDBE where you would have a profile, it's the same thing. You need a profile with ADA before starting your exam procedure, exam registration. So you go to ADA website and you create a DENTPIN for yourself. So it's gonna ask you some basic information, your email, it's gonna ask you to create a password, and some personal information, your name and stuff like that. And then it's gonna give you a number that is your DENTPIN. So every time you gotta log in with that same number. It's pretty straightforward. It's just like opening a new email. Once you have that, and you can do this at any time. So I know that the ADAT exam is run from March to August every year, but if you plan to take ADAT this year, you can go ahead and create your DENTPIN today after the webinar, just so you're like done with it. The second step is your ECE evaluation. So again, for those of you who've taken AFK, you know that there's an association called WES that's where you would send your credentials to get evaluated for INDBE. For ADAT exam, because it's run by ADA, you need to do this again. So it doesn't matter that you had your credentials approved for INDBE, that's a separate story. Now you need to send your credentials to ECE. The good news is I find ECE very more efficient and faster. So it's less of a headache to deal with. Usually it takes 7 to 10 days for them to get back to you. And there's also an option to rush it to 5 days. This step, I recommend you guys who are taking ADAT this year, I recommend you to do this right now so that you don't have to rush it and you have enough time to get it over with. There's a few options when you're going through the EC evaluation form that you need to pick correctly. And if you don't, then it's going to be a double work and extra expense. So for example, when you go through the ECE, it's going to ask you all these questions about your degree, like, okay, what is your degree called? Is it a DMD? Is it a DDS? Is it a BDS? Because every country, I know we all went through dental school, but we all graduated with a certain degree. So for example, for me, it's a Doctorate of Dental Surgery, DDS. For others, I think from India, it's BDS, Bachelor of Dental Surgery. So you choose your degree type, you choose your other information, and then it asks you if you want a course-by-course evaluation or a general evaluation. And this is where some people get confused. We recommend choosing the course-by-course option so that when your report comes back, you have a course-by-course evaluation of your credentials, and ECE calculates a GPA for you. Another confusion, I just want to clarify it, not that it applies to ADAT, but sometimes there's a difference between the GPA that ECE calculates for you compared to the GPA that WES calculates for you, compared to the GPA that maybe you manually calculate yourself, okay? And you're lost, you're like, okay, so I don't know if I'm eligible to apply to U of T or not because they have a threshold, like if your GPA is under 3, you can't apply. Or like, I don't know if my GPA is 3.8 or 3.6, and I don't know if I'm competitive enough for this university. From what I've gathered from all the applicants that we're in touch with, your EC GPA is going to be a little bit higher than average, and your WES, like higher than your real GPA, and your WES GPA is going to be a little bit lower than your real GPA. So it's somewhere between those two numbers where your actual GPA lies. So I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, you pick the course by course option. And another thing, I think I have it in the next slide. It's gonna ask you, so yeah, this is the first page. You pick the individual, you proceed as an individual for the evaluation of your degree. And if you can go to the next slide, it's going to ask you whether you want it for a Canadian or a US report. And this is where it gets confusing because you're like, you think you're applying to a Canadian university and you're in Canada, you don't have anything to do with US, so why should I go for a US report? Again, I remind you that you are taking ADAT, which is an American exam. So you want your ECE evaluation report to go to the Joint Committee on Dental, JNCDE, so Joint National Committee of Dental Exams, which is an American entity. So you would choose the US evaluation report in this step. I just wanted to clarify this. So these are small things that maybe you're unsure of, so I just wanted to clarify. Okay, and then once you are in the process of your EC evaluation, there's a part where you select your country where you graduated from as a dentist. So I've put a few examples in the slide. It's very straightforward. So for example, if you select Iran as your country, I'm from Iran, so I'm just using this as an example. You can see here it writes which things do you need to send. So basically, if you graduated as a dentist from Iran, you're gonna need to send your diploma, and your transcripts, along with their English translations, by email to ECE. So there will be an email address. You will copy that email, and then you will contact your home university. So again, I know a lot of attendees in the webinar today are from Iran. So what you do is you contact the International Affairs Office of your university, and you tell them that you want them to forward your email to the ECE email. So you're going to email the International Office of your home university, your degree, your transcripts, and their English translation of them. ECE says that they accept your own translation of them if they're eligible, but I would recommend using a certified translation. So you get a certified translation, and you email all of these to your home university, and you ask them to email it to ECE. Pretty straightforward. Hopefully your home universities will be able to help you. So it doesn't involve any mailing, anything any printed documents, any original documents. So it's less of a headache than it was with IMDBE for me. So it's all like electronic. And then in the other slides, I have examples from other countries. I just put it here. So for if you're from India, for example, you will need to send your degree, your statement of marks, or your transcript, as well as any internship completion certificate if it was required for the qualification of your degree. So it's just as soon as you select your home country, it will tell you what you need to email to them. And I think I have a few more examples of other countries as well. Yeah, so Syria, and so that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here you can see the fees for ADAT exam. And these are in US dollars. Again, it's a US, it's an American exam. So the exam fee is gonna be $450. There's gonna be a fee also for your ECE evaluation. The second line, score report fee, I have something important to tell you about that, so bear with me, it'll be in a few slides, but you won't need to pay this fee if you're careful about picking the right options while you're registering for the exam. So basically, if everything goes well and you don't need any audits or anything like that, the exam is going to cost you $450 US. The last line I also want to point out, so the exam runs from March to August, and if you, for example, if you book your exam for, let's say March, and March comes and you don't feel ready, you don't, maybe something happened, life happens, so you want to reschedule it. The good thing about ADAT exam, unlike AFK and these other exams like this, is that you can reschedule it. So for as little as $25, you can reschedule it to another time that you can find available, maybe in May, maybe in June. Within that period of March to August, you can reschedule it and take it again. If you're not able to take it within that period of March to August, though, unfortunately, if you want to take it in the next year's cycle, you will lose your the fee that you paid. You will lose your $450. So I just wanted to say that. So this is about the fees of the exam. We had webinars on ADAT exam. We will have a lot of guidance on the exam itself, its contents. Obviously, if you register with the course, there's going to be detailed info on all of these. But I just wanted to give you like an overview for those of you who maybe you're in this webinar, but you don't really know a lot about ADAT exam. So ADAT exam has three main parts: biomedical sciences, clinical sciences, and biostatistics. So 80 questions for the first two and 40 questions for the third one. And you can see how long it takes for each section. So you'll have a 15-minute tutorial, which familiarizes you with the platform, how to flag a question to return to it, how to highlight a question, all of those things, how to see your timer. So you'll have 15 minutes to just get familiar with the platform, and then you have 95 minutes for the biomedical science. Then you have an optional 10-minute break, which I recommend everyone to take it. And then you have 90 minutes of clinical science, another break, and then biostat, and then a 5-minute survey. So the whole exam is run in one day for 4 hours and a half. It is a long exam. So near the end of the exam, you'll be really exhausted, and that's when they hit you with biostat questions, which is kind of like math questions. So you'll have to strategize to make sure that you still have energy and you're able to focus near the end of the exam. Again, we're not going to get into details about this one because this webinar is more focused on registration rather than exam itself, but I just wanted to give you an overview. Okay, we could go to the next one. Okay. So this is my recommendation to you. So all the information that I gave you so far, if you dig deep enough, you can find it online. But this is the part that I want everyone to know. The registration for ADAT, like the time that you can go and pick your venue, is not open yet. The application usually starts 2 to 3 months before March. So right now you cannot apply for the exam, but what you can do, and I want you guys to go ahead and do this if you plan to take that exam this year, you can go ahead and do a step 1, which was creating your DENTPIN. You can also go ahead and do your EC evaluation of your degree, which was step 2, and then wait until 2 to 3 months before March. So let's say, I think January, it's a good time to go and check if the application has opened. The way you check it is you go to your DENTPIN, you log in with your DENTPIN, and then you pick a ADAT exam. Right now, if you log in into your DENTPIN, there's not an ADAT exam option because the application is closed. So once that opens, then you can go ahead and start your application, which is the third step, which is I'm going to explain what it is. And then once the venue is open, you can just go ahead and pick your venue. So once your application goes through, usually after a few days, you will receive an email from ADA saying, okay, we reviewed your application for ADAT exam, you're eligible, you can go ahead and choose your venue. And that's when you choose your venue. That way, if you plan to take ADAT in March, there will be no issue. Okay. So again, the cycle is from March 1st to August 31st. Some people ask me how many times can I take ADAT exam? I have a few things to say on this topic. First of all, you can take it up to 2 times per cycle. And there needs to be 45 days between each time you take this exam. So for example, you might want to take it in March, and maybe you don't score as high as you would like to. And then you would need to wait 45 days and take the next one, let's say in July or whenever you're ready. If you don't like your result the second time, you can't take it again in that cycle. So you will need to wait for the next cycle. So for example, we would want to wait for March 2027. And in March 2027, you can take it for another time. After 3 attempts of this exam, you are still eligible to take it, but you need to show documents or proofs as to why you want to take it. I'll explain what I mean by that. So for example, if you take it 3 times, you get a score, and then you apply to a school and you get rejected, you could request that university to send you a letter saying your ADAT score is not high enough to be considered into our program. Then you can use that document, you can send that document to ADA saying you didn't score high enough and you want to take it again. So there is a way, but up to 3 times you can take it. And here's what I want to say to you again. Universities can access all of your ADAT scores. So, for example, if you apply to U of T, they can see that your first attempt was in March and you scored 520, and your second attempt was in July and you scored, I don't know, 670. No one knows how they judge this. So no, the admission team of each university is not going to disclose how they're using these kind of information to judge your profile. But what I would recommend to our ADAT students is to take the exam when they're ready, because you can reschedule for a very small fee. So take it when you're ready so that you don't have to take it multiple times, because they can see all of your attempts and all of your scores. So take it once and get a good score. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. We're going to take it again. But don't take it just to have an idea of what this exam is like, or just to get familiar with the exam. That shouldn't be the case. You should only take this exam if you have studied and reviewed and you feel ready. And if not, then you'll do it again. Okay? That's what I had to say on this topic. This is another thing that I wanted to show you. So in the slide about the fees, remember there was a $50 fee for a report. You can skip this fee, but you need to pay attention. When you're registering for a DAT exam, so it's option 1, the DENTPIN, option 2, the C evaluation, option 3 is your application to a DAT exam, right? And when you're doing the application, it's going to ask you, okay, so when did you graduate? What was your range of GPA? Some questions, some general questions. And then it's going to ask you, do you want me to send this ADAT report to any specific university? And it gives you all like an exhaustive list of all of the US and Canadian dental schools and all of their programs. So you can pick, for example, endodontics, periodontics, advanced standing program. You can pick U of T, McGill, University of Buffalo, anything. Whatever you pick at this stage is going to be free. They won't charge you for it. But once you register, you do your application, you pay for a DAT exam, and you take your DAT exam, and then you remember, oh, actually, I wanted to send my results to this other program also. That is when it's going to cost you $50 per each extra report. So what I recommend in order to avoid those fees is pick all of them. So when you're doing your application to a DAT exam, pick all of the programs, pick all of the universities, because it costs zero money. And in the future, if you change your mind, you never know. If an option opens for you, then you don't have to pay that $50. So this is what I wanted to say. And this is a picture of that whole steps taken. So you can see, you can just go ahead and click all of them. Okay. And now we come to the last step. So you have done your application. You receive an email from ADA saying, okay, we can go ahead and book your exam. Then you go to Pearson VUE website. So for Pearson VUE, it is it's exam venues that administer different kind of exams. So when you go to take your ADAT exam, there will be people who are taking other kind of exams. Maybe they're taking their nursing exam or their pharmacy school exam or DAT exam. So it could be different thing. Not everyone that day is taking ADAT exam. And they have different locations. So they have 14 locations across Canada and 217 locations across USA, and also in other countries if you're abroad. But you can pick the one that's closest to you. Unfortunately, I think it's now 4 years that it's not administered in Quebec. So if you're living in Quebec, you have to take it in Ottawa or anywhere that's closest to you. But other than Quebec, in every other province in Canada, you will be able to find a venue. And there's a lot of availabilities, time slots that you can choose from. So it's not like AFK where there will be no seats and there's a competition for seats and it's stressful. It's not like that. We still recommend that you pick your venue and you book it at least 1 month ahead, even 2 months to be safe. So don't wait until the last minute to book your exam. But it's not a competition and it's not going to be stressful. So you can pick. And I think I have a slide showing you how you pick. Yeah, so this is the website. You enter your location. So for an example, I entered Vancouver here. and it gives you the closest exam centers. So there's one in Vancouver downtown, there's one in Burnaby, and you can just pick whichever that you like, and then find the time that fits you the best and go take your exam. Okay. Once you have your exam booked, hopefully it's you've already started studying and you're already familiar with your exam. But if not, there's another good PDF online that's called Advanced Dental Admission Test Practice Test. So you can download this for free, and it has sample questions on ADAT exam. It's not like questions that you can practice with or questions that you can use to learn from. It's more just to familiarize you with the format of the questions. So of course, for getting a high and competitive score, you will need to do lots of mock exams, lots of quizzes, lots of sample questions, which unfortunately none of these are available online. There's no book or there's no sample tests, but this kind of like just gives you the format. Okay, so I put screenshots of a few pages of this PDF, but this PDF you can just go and download it yourself. So in the next slides, you'll see what ADAT questions look like. Again, I put these few slides for people who joined this webinar without any prior idea about ADAT. So as you can see, most of your clinical section questions, they will have a patient chart. They will have some information about the patient, their chief complaint, their history, their medications. There will be some x-rays. You know, sometimes like in here, there's bite wings and PAs, or it could be a panoramic, or it could be a cephalometric, or even a CBCT, so different kind of x-rays. Then there's photographs, intraoral photographs, extraoral photographs of the dentition, of the mucosa, so different kind of um, uh, photos you'll have. And then in the next slide, you'll see you'll have questions about that case. You can have other things too. So in the PDF, you'll see like you'll have a perio chart with the probing depths of the teeth, or you will have a picture of the appliance that they're wearing, like an ortho appliance. So just, yeah, these two slides was just to give an idea of what the questions look like. So there will be 2 or 3 questions about each case. And if you can go to the list. Okay, so how long does it take for you to get your ADAT score? Usually on the website, it says that it takes 3 to 4 weeks for you to receive your results. Our experience with our students has been that it's usually quicker than that. So that's a good news. Why is this important? Because if you want to use your ADAT score to apply to Canadian schools, they all have an application deadline, right? So I would recommend that you find out about each of these deadlines. Obviously, if you're with us, we will definitely notify you in advance. But if you're doing it on your own, you need to make a table of all of these deadlines. So for example, McGill's deadline is in March, U of T's deadline is in June, Alberta's deadline is in this and that, and then you have a good picture of when you need to have your documents ready. So the first one, the soonest is usually U of T. So we are usually concerned that we will have our score ready before that deadline. And because the results come back within 3 to 4 weeks, even if you take your ADAT exam in, let's say, late May, you'll be fine for U of T. So if you need to spend as much time as you can on this exam, you don't have to take it as early as March. You can take it as late as May. So the way you get your scores is pretty straightforward. You'll receive an email from ADA saying that your results are ready to be viewed. Then you go to your same DENTPIN page, the same page that you will have to deal with all throughout. You log in and then you get your scores. So your scores will be reported as a total score, for example, 670, 650, whatever, and then it will be reported as 3 sub-scores. So for example, you scored 670, you scored 720 in your biomedical sciences, you scored 650 in your clinical sciences, and you scored 620 in your biostats. And the universities will be able to see that as well. So they will be able to see their total score and your sub-scores. Okay, this is from ADAT website, so it's official results of 2023 and 2024. So if you can appreciate here on the down below, you can see how what the average scores are and what the 90 percentile scores are. And I would say again, remember I told you that this exam is for us foreign trained dentists who want to get into Canadian schools, as well as for people who take this exam to get into specialty programs. So I don't want you to look at this chart and be like, oh, okay, so if I score 520 or 540, I'm above average, so I'm good. Not really, because you're competing with other foreign trained dentists who are scoring really high. So a good number to have in your mind is 600. I think if you're 600 and above, I am confident that you will get into one of Canadian universities. Okay, maybe not U of T, but there's definitely going to be a university that you're going to get into, unless you do a very big, red flag behavior on your interview, or you miss the date of your bench test, or you do something really unforeseeable. Other than that, like it will get you into a university between 550 to 600. You're on shaky ground. So I know people with scores in that range that still get into university, but they will have to compensate by other things. They will have to compensate by their GPA, by their resume, by their hand skills, by their interview skills. So it's going to be a risk. So that's just to give you an idea of what score is a good score, because I get asked these questions all the time. And then I put these two pictures. The 2025 results are not out yet because the last exam was in August. It's not ready yet. But once it's out there, you can go and Google and see that. You can see the trend, right? It's getting pushed to higher scores. So you're having more and more higher scores. I'm pretty sure when the 2025 comes out, you will have even higher scores. So it is getting more competitive. I don't want to stress you guys, but it's an exam that needs concentrated attention. So you can't study a little bit of ADAT, a little bit of AFK, a little bit of ACJ. I'll do when I can. I'm gonna, it needs your undivided attention to get a high score. And it's possible, it's totally doable. You just need your undivided attention on the topic. Okay, so I think this is where I'm going to mute myself. And at the end of the webinar, I can see that there's some questions in the chat. So I'll come back and answer those questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hannah, for all the priceless information you share with us. So in the next step, I'm going to talk about our course, ADAT course at ConfiDentist. I don't know why that's go next. All right. So at ConfiDentist, we have two packages available. The first one is ADAT comprehensive course. So we have 50 online lectures available for the comprehensive package, covering these topics. You can see the topics like EBD, physiology, you can just name it. And we have 20 quizzes available for the comprehensive package and membership in the VIP WhatsApp group, as well as private mentorship, and 7 booklets covering all the topics that we have here and for sure necessary for the ADAT exam. We also have 4 full mock exams plus discussions. So 2 of the discussions are pre-recorded and 2 of them are live. And we also have 1 EBD mini mock as well as or along with the discussion. And the most important thing about our ADAT course is you have access to the whole material except for the mock exams till August 2026. I mean, no matter what, if you have taken ADAT in this batch, or for any reason, if you have delayed your decision about taking exam in this batch, you still have access to the whole material except for mock exams till August 2026. And if you want, you don't want to use your mock exams for this batch, you also have this flexibility to postpone or hold your mock exams. You just need to send an email to admin@confidentist.ca and ask them to postpone your mock exams. All right, the second package is called Crash Course, which is just covering EBD and BMS modules. You can see the topics that will be covered in this course. We have 20 online lectures in the Crash Course, while in comprehensive we had 50, right? So, and I should mention that the lectures are hybrid, like live and pre-recorded. Some of them are live and some of them are pre-recorded. We have 10 quizzes for Crash. And same as comprehensive, we have membership for WhatsApp group and private mentorship. But for the as for booklets, we only have 4 booklets covering these topics for the Crash. And we all, do you remember for the comprehensive, we had 4 full mock exams, right? But for the Crash, we have 1 EBD mini mock along with the discussion session. But for the Crash course, we also have the same thing, like you have access to the material till August 2026. The only thing is about the timeline, I would like to mention about that. The course timeline, course begins in November 1st for both Crash and comprehensive. So the EBD and BMS part finish December 21st. And clinical part finish at February 15. Mock exams start February 21st. And the last part would be the final Q&A session and end of course, which is gonna be March 15. All right, let me see if I can take this. I don't know. Okay, so the course, the comprehensive course, takes like 4.5 months, but the Crash would be 2 months long. All right, now let's go to the price. So for the comprehensive, the price used to be, the original price used to be $39.99. But now we have early bird discount available, and and the price used to be $4,200, and now we have early bird discount till October 15, and the price is $39.99. We do have payment plan available, and I will let you know about it later. Just a second. So yeah, I will explain about that AFK part as well. For the Crash is $2,200. Okay, now let me talk about the discount a little bit, and then I will go back to the comprehensive and Crash difference a little bit more. So we have early bird discount till October 15th for comprehensive course, but not for Crash. Crash is $2,200, but we do have loyalty discount for our old candidates. If you were our AFK candidate or any other courses, you take advantage of the loyalty course, loyalty discount, which is gonna be 5% off. Because someone asked about what's the difference between Crash and comprehensive, let me explain a little bit here. So if you have already studied AFK, okay, before, probably it's most likely that you don't need to take the whole comprehensive, the whole topics, right? Because you have already studied those modules before in AFK. In that case, you'd better take the crash course. The crash course covering the topics here. So you can check out both topics. We have the topics available on the schedule on the website. You can go to the ADAT part and see the schedule for crash and the comprehensive and see if you are familiar or maybe dominant in that those topics. If you are, so you can go with the crash course, of course. But if not, if you have never taken AFK before or you have never studied for AFK before, definitely you have to go with the comprehensive. Yeah. So Dr. Hannah would explain a little bit more in this part, but I guess I mentioned everything about the course. If you have any questions, any other questions other than this, you can reach out to me. I leave my phone number here. Let me write 432-728-785. Or you can email at info@confidentist.ca. This is the email. info@confidentist.ca. All right. Now for the last stage of our webinar, please, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment box, and we're gonna we try to answer all your questions. Oh my gosh. So, okay, this is confidentist.ca. All right. I guess that's it. Let's go to the question box. Dr. Hannah, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask the questions and please answer the questions one by one.
Sure, yeah.
So the first question is, do we have to pay the processing fees of $435 for non-CODA school graduates?
Yes, for ECE you're asking, yes.
Yes, okay.
So,
The second question, yes, please.
I already read it, sorry.
Yeah.
Dr. Joshna, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If you're taking ADAT to apply to foreign, to advanced standing programs for foreign trained dentists, you only need to evaluate your undergraduate degree. So I know that you have a postgraduate degree as well. You don't need to send that for ECE evaluation, just your DDS undergraduate degree.
All right. What? Okay. I guess this is Zoom. Yeah, Zoom user. Okay. Can you please tell me, does this meeting has recording? Yes, it does. What if I have already taken AFK course from Confi? Okay, if you have taken AFK or course from Confi, so you need to go with the crash. But about the probably your, if you, I don't know how long, I mean, like if you have taken AFK 2 years ago, 3 years ago, so that's why you need to send an email to admin@confidentist.ca, and we will see your profile and your records. And based on your profile, we will decide like how to like balance your account, and our admin will get back to you. Please send an email to admin and tell them that you would like to go to ADAT crash or ADAT comprehensive, either of options, okay, and ask them to let you know about the price you have to pay for now, or if you need to pay anything or not. They will let you know about the details, because we need to check all these things like case by case. I can't say like you're gonna do that or do that. We need to check your case. And so total fee for ADAT exam would be
Yeah.
400. Yeah.
I'm just gonna correct that. Dr. Sohaib, the exam fee for ADAT is 430. For EC evaluation, you need to pick the non-CODA accredited evaluation of course by course, which is a bit more expensive than the general one. I don't think it's 450. I think it's around like 190, 195, I would say. You can check online, but it's not that expensive. It's definitely like within that range of 190. So yeah, the total fee would be 190 plus 430. But the 190, the AC evaluation, you just do it once, and then you registered with ADA, and then you take ADAT once, or if you need to take it again, you don't need to do your AC evaluation. So I wouldn't put it like that. I would say you have a 195 AC evaluation, and then you have 430 for each time you take ADAT.
195, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So is there any other questions to be answered? So if not, thank you so much again, Dr. Hannah, for your time and joining us today. Thank you everyone for joining us for ADAT webinar today. And please, you can email us or call us on this number or to the office, or you can email us at info@confidentist.ca or admin.confidentist.ca. And we are here to help you and support you. And congratulations again for taking the first step, taking ADAT, and I'm really happy for you. I'm sure this is the best option for you to take with no doubt. Just get it started, and I'm sure you can make it if you follow Dr. Hannah's instructions and all the instructors actually, and if you follow them, your mentors' guidance and your instructors' knowledge, I'm sure that you're gonna make it. So wish you all the best. And yeah, okay. Another question? Oh my God.
That's okay. Yeah, I answered it. Should be clear now. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Good luck, everyone, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.